With games like Gears of War, Dead Rising, and even Lumines on the Live Arcade, the Xbox 360 seems to have the one necessary thing that all others tend to be missing right now: a library of great software. Now, will the millions of 360 owners help keep Microsoft out on top as the gaming field gets increasingly competitive, or are the days of its market dominance numbered? Happy birthday, Xbox. It's The Loop. Joining us via satellite to help us make sense of it all is Aaron Ruby, Next Gen magazine contributor and author of Smart Bomb, The Quest for Art, Entertainment, and Big Bucks in the Video Game Revolution, and Electronic Gaming Monthly editor-in-chief Dan Shu, whose new issue spotlights Microsoft's Halo 3. Interesting game. I've heard a couple things about it, Dan. I'm going to ask you about that in a little bit, but right now I want to talk about the 360 overall. I mean, we're on the eve of the release of the PlayStation 3, the Wii's coming out as well. But Dan, some people are saying the 360 is still the console with the most going for it. Would you agree? Would you disagree? What are your thoughts?
Right now, I think there's no question because, first of all, you got the PlayStation 3 coming out at a higher price point, $500 or $600. You're going to be lucky if you can even buy one. Wii's going to come out in limited supply. Nintendo hasn't really been a dominant brand name in the gaming business for a few years now. So Xbox 360, with its year lead, with some already AAA titles out there like Gears of War and Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, they clearly have the lead right now. But we have to really see a couple years from now whether Sony could catch up or not.
Well, Aaron, right now, how crucial is this holiday selling window that's coming out? Because it seems like all this news is coming out about the PlayStation 3. I mean, even negative press is still more press than the 360 is getting. Do you think that's going to bury it? Is that going to hurt Microsoft sales this season?
No, not at all. Actually, if I were Microsoft right now, I'm psyched because they don't have to justify their existence anymore. They're out there. They've got their infrastructure in place. They got good games. Gears of War is like going to smash hit like nothing we've ever seen from that platform. I think even more than Halo 3, although it's going to rock. Gears of War shows that these guys can come out with new franchises.
Sure. Now they've got two original pieces of IP to play with and really get gamers excited for years to come. But other than a Halo 3, I mean, what does Microsoft need to stay competitive, Dan? Is it just more Xbox Live Arcade games, or do they need more exclusives?
You know what? You always want exclusives. You always want to show gamers and consumers why your platform is unique. But really, I think they could coast along for a little bit now because for the next year, people know, okay, we're going to get Halo 3, we're going to get Grand Theft Auto, we're going to get Madden. So all the key franchises you're still going to be able to find on the Xbox 360. So I think and it's $200 cheaper than the PlayStation 3.
Right.
So for a while, they don't have much to worry about. But in the long term, you need to keep reminding people why you have games that you can't find anywhere else.
Aaron, looking at the PlayStation 3, there's some rumors now saying there might only be 120,000 units at launch here in North America, which is, I mean, it's absurd if it's true. But is that shortage actually going to help the 360? Some people say you go into a Best Buy or a Toys R Us and, oh, the PS3 is sold out, so I'm just going to get this console here. What if they have already bought the 360? Aren't they holding out for the PlayStation 3?
Yeah, well, I think clearly the hardcore, especially the guys who are like PlayStation or die, those guys are not going to just all of a sudden fold over and go buy a 360. But like if you're a parent and it's Christmas time and you got to make a choice and you're not going to get a PS3 and here's a console that's like a couple $100 cheaper, you're definitely going to go that way, I think.
So Dan, you think the guy with the PlayStation 3 and the Spider-Man fought tattooed across his belly, he's not switching over to the 360 because they're out of stock?
No, I think they will switch over to 360 because, you know, exactly what you guys just said. It's you're not going to be able to find a PS3 very easily, even if they ship all 400,000 units. And the games are pretty comparable. You know, you're still the big popular franchises like Madden. You're still going to find on both systems. So
all right, let's talk about a big exclusive you won't find on PlayStation 3. Of course, it's Halo 3. Microsoft just announced they got a demo coming out very soon. But Dan, you've got your hands on it, right? You've played the game.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Give me something. Is this the be-all, end-all?
Well, you know what? I played it and I didn't want to put the controller down. Like at one point, the studio, like, you know, you got to go. We got to get some sleep. It's time to go home. And I didn't want to go. So it's a lot of fun. New maps, new weapons, slightly new control scheme. It's still really early, so I'm looking forward to what they do in terms of the graphics because I want to see what a next-gen Halo looks like. But I'm definitely excited about it.
Aaron, do you think Halo 3 is enough to even hold off potential Sony fanboys for even all of 2007?
Well, I think there's no question she's right about Halo 3. It's like going to be their staple. But you know, like the game industry, it's not Windows. They can't just like sit on that. So it's really crucial that games like Gears of War, Mass Effect, stuff like that, just keeps rolling out to kind of sort of have something for them in addition.
All right, Shu, final question to you, sir. If a gamer hasn't jumped into the next-gen waters, they got maybe $500, well, let's say $1,000 to spend in the coming weeks, do you recommend the PlayStation 3? Should they go the Wii 60 route, or would the 360 and a couple games and some live arcade titles suffice?
I think generally speaking, 360 is a safe bet right now. You have the biggest library. I think by this holiday they're going to have 160 some games. If you want a PlayStation 3 really badly, if you wait till March, you're not going to see a price drop, but you're going to see more games. You're not going to have to wait in line and pay eBay dollars to get the machine.
All right.
So if you can wait a little bit, wait a little bit.
Will do, Dan. Thank you for the final thought. Aaron, of course, I want to thank you for joining us as well. Thank you guys for keeping us in the loop. Now listen, I understand the urge that many gamers have to grab the PlayStation 3. I know it's the latest. It could potentially be the greatest console ever, but as of right now, thanks to the healthy head start, the 360 has a solid lineup of software and a robust online network. So rather than spending $1,000 attempting to prove that you're the coolest kid on the block, why not just breathe and take a peek at the competition and prove that maybe you're not the most foolish kid on the block?